Welcome, my friends. Come closer and make yourselves comfortable by the hearth. There's a chill in the air tonight, and I have a tale to share that will warm your heart even as it stirs it. It's a story of music so beautiful it could charm the stones themselves, and of a love so deep it dared to cross the very boundary between life and death. It is the tale of Orpheus and Eurydice, a melody woven from joy, loss, and the hope that even in darkness, love may still find its way. In a time when gods and mortals still shared the earth, there lived Orpheus, son of the Muse Calliope and the god Apollo. Ah, Orpheus, even his name sounds like music. From the moment his fingers first touched the lyre, the world itself seemed to lean in and listen. It was said that no creature, mortal or divine, could resist the beauty of his music. The rivers slowed to hear him. The stones leaned in to listen. Trees bent their branches to hear him, and wild beasts lay at his feet in peace. And then there was Eurydice. She was a nymph, her laughter bright as sunlight through leaves, her eyes deep within the quiet of shaded groves. They met as if the fates themselves had woven it into their tapestry. In a sunlit meadow, where flowers bent their heads to the wind, the young musician first beheld the beautiful maiden. In that instant, Orpheus knew the song of his life had found its melody. His songs wove the warmth of the sun and the whisper of the breeze into melodies, and she listened as though the world itself had fallen away. Their love blossomed swiftly, bright as spring's first bloom. They were wed beneath a bough heavy with blossoms, the sky painted with the colors of dawn, the ceremony filled with music and dancing and with blessings of both gods and men. For a time, they loved as only those touched by the gods can love. Each day an unending hymn, each night a quiet duet of whispered dreams. But love, even divine love, is not always spared the cruel hand of fate. One fateful afternoon, Eurydice wandered through a meadow, the golden heads of wildflowers nodding in the breeze. Her footfalls stirred a hidden serpent from the grass. It struck, swift and merciless. The venom ran like ice through her veins, and her cry rose into the sky where Orpheus heard it as though the world itself had shattered. Orpheus ran until his lungs burned, but by the time he reached her, the light was already fading from her eyes. All he could do was to take her in his arms as her breath slipped away, and the world grew silent. Most would have wept and cursed the heavens, but Orpheus, he would not accept this end. Not for her, not for them. If Eurydice dwelt in the land of the dead, then he would go to her. He would walk the path no mortal dared to tread and bring her back. Taking up his lyre and with grief as his companion, he journeyed beyond the world of the living, across the land where shadows lengthen and warmth fades. Through cavern and chasm he went, where roots dripped with unseen water and air hung heavy with the scent of stone and memory. At the mouth of the Underworld, the black waters of the river Styx awaited. Its ferryman sat silent and stern. Orpheus played for the ferryman Charon, and the song that rose from his strings was sorrow shaped into sound. The ferryman's gnarled hands trembled, and he offered the boat without a word. Past the river, in the iron halls of Hades, even the tormented spirits paused to listen. At the gates, the three-headed guardian Cerberus lowered his monstrous forms, whimpering at the beauty of the notes. Orpheus walked through the halls of endless shadow, past spirits who paused in their wanderings, their sorrow eased for the first time in centuries. At last, in the deepest hall of the dead, he stood before Hades, the stern king of shadows, and Persephone, queen of spring and death. His music poured out of him, of summer fields and starlit nights, of laughter shared and promises made. He played of the meadow where Eurydice fell, of the venom's cruel kiss, of the hollow days that followed. And in every note was a plea, not for himself, but for the chance to love her once more. A silence deeper than the grave filled the hall. Persephone, touched by Orpheus's devotion, convinced her husband to grant his request. Hades, ever the crafty ruler, granted him a single mercy. Eurydice could follow him back to the land of the living, but only if he did not look upon her until they had both stepped into the sunlight. Orpheus gratefully agreed, and so the lovers began their ascent. Through the dark, twisting tunnels they climbed, Orpheus's heart thundering with each pace. He could hear Eurydice's footsteps behind him, soft as a whisper, but longed to hear her voice, to see her face, yet he dared not turn. Gradually, the air grew warmer and the light of the world began to glimmer ahead. But as they neared the mouth of the cave, the ferryman in sight, freedom a near certainty, a terrible doubt overcame Orpheus. What if Eurydice wasn't truly there? What if Hades had played some cruel trick on him? He could not hear her breath. The silence pressed in heavy as a stone. And so, just before they crossed the threshold, Orpheus turned. For a heartbeat, their eyes met, hers wide with love and sorrow. Then she was gone, pulled back into the darkness as though she had never been. To be sure, Orpheus's despair was exquisite. For many days and nights he wandered the world, but no song escaped his lips. Some time passed, and his heart healed just enough that new inspiration found him, and he began to play again. Though his heart was broken, Orpheus played on for the rest of his days. His music carried her memory, her laughter, her love. And so, in a way, she was never truly lost. Ever after, those who heard his music swore it was somehow even sweeter than before. And sometimes, when the wind caught the notes just right, Orpheus swore he could hear her laughter dancing between the leaves. Now, I have it on good authority that when his mortal life ended, Persephone took pity on him, and she permitted Orpheus and Eurydice to be reunited in the Elysian fields. And there, among eternal spring, their love endures, two souls forever entwined, where no shadow can follow. So ends the tale of Orpheus and Eurydice, a story that reminds us why the sweetest songs are tinged with sorrow. They carry the truth that love, once given, never truly fades. If you enjoyed tonight's story, tend our little hearth by giving this video a like, subscribing for more tales, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Should you wish to help keep the fire burning, you can support Stories by the Hearth through the link in the description. Until next time, I am, as ever, your humble storyteller. May your nights be warm, your dreams filled with wonder, and your heart ever open to the magic of a good story.